But anyway, so episode 10.
Yeah, man.
Episode 10 of The Verdict. Sometimes it's weird. Sometimes it's ever changing. It's cool. And that's what I like about it. That's why I like doing it. I think I bit off I think there's a thing as too ambitious.
Okay.
And I'm suffering from that somewhat lately. So I had to dial it back slightly.
I feel you.
I had to dial some things back in order to focus, instead of, trying to do 100 million things at once.
Right.
I'm going to just do one thing at once.
There you go.
At one particular time. I'm still doing those other things. I'm just not doing everything at the same time.
Yeah, you're pretty much allocating your
right. The way they call it, compartmentalizing. Is that what that is?
Compartmentalizing is I wouldn't use that, but I would say allocating. So you're taking time in specific areas and you're putting it in other areas that is more significant. So things like that.
Definitely, and
so it's a bit of compartment. I can't even speak it.
Right, it's a hard fucking word, man.
Compartmentalizing,
that's definitely a hard word.
Yeah.
All right, so, oh man, with the hurricanes though,
man, three of them.
Right. Well, there's one that just got finished doing dirt. It's still kind of at the finishing stages.
The Harvey?
Matthew,
Harvey.
Harvey, yeah.
Harvey hit up Houston twice, man. It like turned back around.
Right.
I was like, I think I'm gonna come back.
I gotta go back.
Yeah, I had so much fun in Houston.
Right.
I'm just gonna turn back. But man, I mean, the flooding is ridiculous, man.
It's crazy out there.
And we got some friends out there. Alton was keeping us, up to date, what was going on.
Oh, Alton's in Houston?
Yeah, he lives in Houston now.
Dang, I did not know that.
So he was sending like videos of like, helicopters and everything, flying over. He was like, man, we good. It's only a category 3, and it was like, all right, well, then it started flooding and, he was like, all right, they came and got us. Like, we safe now. I was like, yeah. I was like, kind of should have evacuated, even though I knew you trusted the landmass that you're on and everything, seeing that it's more elevated than other parts of that particular city of Houston. But still, I'm glad that he's safe and sound, him and his wife. And I think they got dogs too, like 2 dogs. So.
Oh, the dogs make it out too?
Yeah, the dogs are fine.
Okay.
So but yeah, definitely prayers going out to Houston, man. Any of you listeners who haven't donated, please donate to Houston. They need help. They need clothes, they need food, they need anything and everything pretty much that you have. They don't have anything right now, so they're struggling. It's almost like Katrina Part 2.
Is it? I mean, it's crazy to hear you talk about it like that because I'm so desensitized to the next man suffering that it's just like,
Well, I mean, think about it like this, man. Why help out somebody who's, an external entity and not try to help out your own folk, like, here in the country? Because, that's what a lot of people have been complaining about. Like, we're always helping out, other countries, out here, people were sending donations to, people in Paris, people in, England and London during the bombing, the tsunamis over in Asia.
This is true.
Why not help out, our own folk? Because when Katrina went down, we were only like seniors in high school. So that was like 2005.
Something like that, 2005, 2006.
And I mean, I can't really remember. I remember there was like that was when Kanye got on TV and was like,
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
He said George Bush don't care about black people.
So I was about to say, I don't really remember anything about, people holding any type of TV events or anything, to donate. But they actually did.
They did, man. They got a whole bunch of money. They got a whole bunch of money. They had people, Katrina, that's when they had people living in that dome, and they were talking about how they was in there wilding, and cats was in there, getting violent.
Bro, it was like, what's the name? What's the name of that movie? Where the kids get on that island.
Lord of the Flies?
Lord of the Flies, pretty much. Yeah. It was Lord of the Flies out there, man.
Right, yeah. I remember them using that exact term to describe it, like, survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest, dog. Like, vending machines were being broken into. Bathrooms smell like Ooh, right. Man, bathrooms were horrible. Smell like death.
Right. And people were like, that's why, Cass was getting at Joel Osteen. I'm like, yo, he don't want motherfuckers in the church
messing up that church.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Going crazy, running wild. Like, no, thank you.
Bro, I mean, think about it like this, man. If somebody came into something that you established, well, I wouldn't even say he established it because it's the old Houston Rockets arena, apparently. So, I mean, but still, you don't want anybody coming in and messing up your own business. So in a sense, I understand it, but at the same time, though, you're supposed to be a man of the people. Like, help out.
I don't think that. I guess in my mind's eye, that's not the only way he could help out. Is by opening up, my immaculate, facility. To house all these people.
I mean, it's also been said that he lied about it. He was like, "Oh yeah, my joint flooded," and people are outside talking about some bro. Like, ain't no water here.
Hey, listen.
So
them people should have been worried about evacuating. They was more worried about what he doing. They should have been worried about getting out of there.
True talk. I feel like there's multiple sides, multiple angles that you can approach this. I mean, if you have your governor coming on, or even your mayor coming on national television and radio airwaves saying you need to evacuate, why are you sticking around? Like, why are you waiting out the storm? It doesn't make any sense. I can understand if you're on an island, like if you're on Puerto Rico, or you in the the Caribbean, one of those islands, there's nowhere you can really go. But I mean, if you are on a large landmass like the United States, like you have other places, especially as big as Texas is, man. You got so many cities. You can go to Dallas. You can go to Austin. You can get away from that. But some people don't have the means to do that. So I understand why they waited out.
Okay, but this is an interesting point that I've been thinking about recently. I saw this somewhere. I don't recall where. But anyway, don't you think that people who live in accident-prone areas, at a certain point, you should stop putting yourself in this position to be devastated by accidents? This ain't an accident no more.
Some people like pain. Some people like to suffer, man.
Like, let's say,
but some of those places, just to say, some of those places are actually popping. I mean, Houston is a really popping place. New Orleans is a really popping place. Really, Miami is a very popping place.
You're right. But let me ask you this:
what's up?
If you and your family lived, in a place where there were bears, and the bears kept attacking and killing your children.
Oh, I'm going for the whole bear community.
You gonna blame the bears, or you gonna move? You gonna leave?
There's
it's you and it's the bears.
I wanna blame it on the bears, but that's their natural habitat, dog. So it's kind of like if
you in the way,
you need to go away.
Yeah, you're in the way, and you need to move, man.
Yeah.
My thing is like I can't. I hate to see people be in this place like this, but it's hard to have sympathy for the next man suffering when it's like, like, dog, you're living in these accident-prone areas and these things could happen.
Right.
Like, I don't get why every single time they happen. I feel like if the money was raised beforehand and was spent to like, like some type of like pre-planning and like, preventative infrastructure, that would be great. But every single time these things happen, we get caught with our pants down. Everybody throws a ton of money at it. We don't know where it goes. 3 months later, we're going to forget about it.
Right.
We already on to the next hurricane.
Like, we already on Jose and the other one that starts with a K. I forget the name of that one, but that's in the Gulf too. So it's like,
Right. Well, Irma's about to be here right now.
Yeah.
And then Jose, Josie, whoever it is. Yeah, whoever it is. And then, then there's another one.
Yeah, there's the other one. So, I mean, it's...
Niggas in North Carolina acting like it's about to be the end of the world.
Nah, man. North Carolina. Last time, I think North Carolina was even affected. Apparently, Matthew, I mean, that was like, last year in like October? I mean, Matthew wasn't bad.
It rained a lot.
It just rained a lot.
That's all it's ever going to do here. Like, I mean, it could get bad, but it ain't, this ain't the low country, and we're not below sea level.
Exactly. Like, if you're over there at the coast and all that, you know what I'm saying? If you're over there like Wilmington, Nags Head and all that, Fayetteville, like, you going to get touched. But,
right, yeah, you're going to get touched.
But
niggas is out here,
If you're in Charlotte, like, you really don't. I mean, the last time Charlotte even got touched was probably like Hugo, maybe Floyd. Like,
exactly. Like, niggas is running to the store, buying up all the milk,
bruh,
buying up all the bread.
Right.
Like, what are y'all niggas gonna make with all this milk and bread? Damn. Like, what?
Hey, man. I mean, you can pretty much make anything with milk. Milk was with the cereal because I mean with that water, I would personally get water. I would get water and vegetables. I mean, because you can survive off that. Vegetables don't really need to be cooled like milk and everything, because milk can go bad. You know what I'm saying? Having warm milk all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody's thinking about that. Niggas is thinking like, oh, we finna be reined in for a couple of days.
Right.
I'm a load up on fruit roll ups.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to the store, buying ammunition or anything, or buying a whole bunch of milk and honey and all that and bread. Nah. But I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine trying to be one of those people who are acting as the scavenger, going into Walmart, going into Target, going to Harris Teeter, buying up all the stuff. Like, nah.
Right, yeah, like, calm down. Like, nobody dead. Like, calm down.
Bro, and Walmart, all the grocery stores be cashing that check to the bank, bro.
Right.
They be laughing. Like, yeah, news media, go ahead and say that, it's going to be a state of emergency. Hell yeah. Watch people go crazy.
There was did you see that Best Buy that got in trouble for price gouging on the water?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
In Houston, yeah, there was a Best Buy selling the like packs of water for like $40.
Not surprised.
$40 for the
water.
Water.
Yeah,
Nigga, that's surprising. Like, you can't do that.
Did the CEO say anything about it?
I don't know. I stopped following it after so long, but
True.
yeah, that was back when it was going on. But they definitely, that particular Best Buy definitely is under fire. So
yeah, survival of the fittest, man. That is real.
Now you said I'm gonna jump to these music releases.
Oh man, I didn't even. I know what you call it is about to release something.
Gucci Mane.
Is he releasing
well,
something?
He's releasing something next week.
Oh, tomorrow? Oh, okay. I think the Cool Kids are releasing something, too, very soon. I think that's next week. Oh, wow. Okay. Moving on.
No. I mean, the Cool Kids, I used to rock with the Cool Kids hard as hell, man. But they just disappointed me. I was just like, you know what?
I think it's just the sound is very old school.
Right, yeah, I think so.
It's like so old school that you feel like you're in this retro. You feel like you should be wearing like some SB Dunks with like some highlighter pants.
Right.
With a fucking like members only jacket and a snapback.
Right.
Folded up.
Right.
Or like a biker. Well, they had the biker hats like how Wesley Snipes was wearing. And,
and White Man Can't Jump. Yeah, got to.
It's just
two of those.
It's like the sound is very, very retro.
So you haven't heard anything new is what you're saying.
I've heard some things new. Usually the music that I heard that was new was by I forget her name. I listened a little bit to her. It's like this woman who's trying to like hide her identity.
Yeah,
she's like more of she's an R&B singer. What else was I listening to? So I listened to all of I know you don't like Tyler the Creator, but I listened to that whole album and I think the album is fire. That's just me. I don't care if he's gay or not. I mean,
you listen to the new Tyler Creator and you're saying the whole thing's fire?
Yeah, I think it's fire, bro. He's definitely a creative mind. The production is amazing. There's one song called "Ain't Got Time," and originally he was supposed to have Nicki Minaj and Kanye West on there. And Nicki heard it. She was like, "Nah." I mean, but you can hear Nicki being on there. And there's like two parts of the songs. So you know how like Kendrick Lamar has "Humble" and he has like kind of like two parts to the song. So same thing with "Ain't Got Time." There's like two parts of it. So on the first part, I think Nicki Minaj was. That's who Tyler was trying to attract to the first part. Then the second part definitely sounds weird as hell, but it sounds like Kanye would be on that shit because Kanye has always been that type of I would say an abstract type person when it comes to just the sound of the music. So yeah. What about you? What have you been listening to?
I listened to Vic Mensa. I listened to his project. It's decent.
Okay.
It's above average.
It's above average.
It exceeds expectations.
What's the name of the album,
The Autobiography.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. It's all right. There's some songs on there that, I'll replay, but I'm not like, fucking Vic Mensa have or anything like that.
Right.
Also I listened to Lil Uzi Vert. His album finally came out. It was a lot.
Okay.
It was a lot going on.
I actually heard Triple X actually had a better album than Lil Uzi Vert did. surprisingly. So I'm about to go tonight. Listen to that.
The Triple X, a couple of times. Yeah, XXX Tentacion.
Tentacion, yeah, man. That's a weird name, man.
Right. I just feel like the nigga's too emotional. I'm like, you know what? And Uzi's pretty emotional too. It's a lot. Man.
Well, I mean, if you listen to like these new artists now, they're starting to be more open about like suicide and things of that nature. If you listen like to the lyrics,
I feel like everybody uses that as a gimmick now.
They use that.
Everybody's depressed. Everybody's suicidal. And, that's my reason why I'm using these drugs.
I mean, but it's relatable because, a lot of people have had, whether you diagnose it as depression or not. I mean, everybody has at least thought about suicide at least once in their life. And I mean, it's something that's relatable. Obviously, yes, it's another marketing move, but you're like, yeah, whatever.
I don't know. I'm just tired of everybody using the whole I'm depressed and I'm suicidal about I'm counting this money, fucking these bitches and living this rock star lifestyle. Like, I mean, get you some help.
True.
Get you some help.
True.
Like,
True, but sometimes like you said, you know what I'm saying, you're in that environment with the bears and stuff, and you still living in that environment where you could cause, harm to yourself or, harm is being done to others, yet you still living in that lifestyle, man. It's everybody does that. We still tend to stay in a situation where we know it's gonna hurt us at the end of the day, but it's a bittersweet. We like it.
True, indeed. I guess so. When what is this about? Like, have you ever been pressured into a hoax or a scam?
All right, so last week I went to Vegas and everything. So the purpose of the whole trip was pretty much just to get away, and vacate. Just get out, get the hell out of the North Carolina and just go over to the West Coast. So, while I was over there, I knew that I had this 9:30. Meeting the very next day once I arrived, because this was a mandatory meeting that I had to show up to, and it was pitched to me as, we're gonna show you, we're gonna show appreciation to all our Hilton Honor members. So I was like, all right, cool. So I thought it was just gonna be a little little breakfast, you know what I'm saying, just saying, we're just going to show you some things. There's hotels that we're building, but, it was more than that. It was obviously being, I was going to be sold timeshare.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
So there were times, they were like, this is a sales presentation. I was like, oh, here we go. So I was already, like, not listening. And the very next slide shows, like, a woman speaking into her husband's ear saying, don't matter what they say, like, we're not gonna buy anything. And I was like, this is funny. So they're trying to add like some humor to it because they know like people do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a single male. Like, I went into this by myself. I saw everyone was coupled up. Everyone had their their spouse with them. I was the only person by myself, with the sales lady. Everybody had their own sales person with them as well. So, the lady brought me after the presentation in this small room, fitting probably about 30 folks in there. We all go to separate desks, designated to the salesperson at the time. And the sales lady was how'd you like it? And I was like, oh, it's cool and everything. She took me upstairs, showed me the model, and I was like, oh, this is nice. She brought me downstairs and. We sat back down at the desk, and she was like, so are you interested in buying some timeshare today? And I was like, no, I'll pass. I'm just ready to go. And she was like, what? And I was like, I'm ready to go. She was like, you don't think this will benefit you? You said you like to travel, like, 2-3 times a year. And I was like, yeah, but I don't really see myself, benefiting from this, especially that I don't have a family at all. So,
well, where was the timeshare though?
The timeshare, I could have chose anywhere. I could have chose Asia. I could have chose Australia. I could have chose South America. It was this timeshare everywhere.
Okay, that sounds like a good deal.
No, it's expensive to go to another country and have timeshare in those places. Like, it's damn near like you're buying a car, buying a very expensive car, like $56,000. And I was like, you know what? I don't need that.
True.
I'm not gonna travel to that one spot all the time because it's going to be super expensive to travel over to Asia. Like, it's crazy expensive to travel to another country, damn near $1,000. So I was like, nah. She was like, okay, well, I'm going to go get my manager, and then he'll, well, you guys can talk about it. So
talk about what?
Pretty much trying to get me to buy the timeshare. So he was going to come in because she showed me the price on a sheet of paper. Like it was like it was formatted in such a way where this is like an official price. She was like, the manager can't print out a sheet of paper and actually have a price. We have to like write this down legally. We have to write this down on the back of a sheet of paper or something like that.
Legally.
Yeah. So, because if they showed this price, then they would lose a lot of money, obviously. So that's why they, write it down. It's a hoax, man. It's literally, it's set up to do this. They've gone through the steps of this multiple times with multiple people. They do this every single day. So, manager comes back, she comes back and everything. So, he's like, hey, Mr. Taylor, how you doing? And I was like, I'm doing all right. He was like, so what are the issues that you're having now? I was like, I'm just not interested in timeshare. And he was like, why is that? And I was like, it's not for me, bro. So then he started writing down prices. I was like, okay. So he wrote down like $11,000. And then he said I would only have to pay. Initially, the first price I would have to pay about like $11,000. Or no, not $11,000, $1,100 a month. With this one, I would only have to pay like $120, $130 a month. And I was like, nope, still no.
Still no.
And like the lady across the desk, she was like, you came in this like closed minded. I was like, nah, I came in with an open mind, like, but it ain't for me. It just ain't, because I know what timeshare is. My parents used to have timeshare and damn near had to like die just for this stuff to like just to get out of it, So it's like, come on, like we already know like timeshare ain't the deal. Like you don't want to have timeshare.
Right, true indeed. Which is why there's such a stigma around it.
Exactly.
And nobody actually wants it, and these people have to resort to the measures that they resort to to get people to sign up.
Exactly. And they try to throw in that you're gonna have to pay so much, and you can ask one of your friends like when you're out there on your timeshare, and they'll be like, how much you paid? Oh, I paid, $700. And I'm like, I only paid $59. Like you want to be, they try to set it up so you would want to be that person who only paid $59, but in actuality you're paying a lot more,
right?
Just to keep that bill. So I mean, yeah, needless to say, they were like, all right, well, you're free to go. So a man escorted me, I wrote down my name, and they gave me a $200 Night on Us gift certificate just for attending, because they told me they was going to give me a Night on Us, or they're telling me they're going to give me a free night to whatever Hilton,
okay,
hotel.
Right.
So I was like, all right. So one night to the max of $200. That's not bad.
What? How long did they have you there?
90 minutes, man.
I was gonna say they keep you there, man.
They keep you a while. So, and it's like Dane was upstairs, looking at stuff to do. So he had time to like look up stuff for us to do. But I was pretty much over it.
Right.
I was like, man, I came here to relax, celebrate while I'm in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? I'm away. This is Labor Day weekend, or going into it at least. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to get active.
All right, but yeah, when you said that, I was just like, I'm usually the one running the hoax or the scam.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, have you ever been like scammed? Seeing that you are the scammer, have you ever been scammed? Like yes. I've had there's been other instances where I had my money taken, but I mean they tried to get me, and I was like, nah.
Oh yeah, all my best schemes or scams are the ones that have worked on me. I figure if they work on me, then they're gonna
work on somebody else.
They're gonna work on a lot of other people. If I got, then I know the next nigga can get got with this scam.
True indeed.
Because you got to wake up early to get by me, and some niggas, boy, they get up early.
Right.
They be up early. They don't even go to sleep. But yeah, I got scammed. I've been scammed a lot.
Unfortunately, man, I feel sorry for you, boy.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with the territory,
What territory, man? I don't know.
Just life, you know what I'm saying? And when you out here, living the way that I do, then it's just, unfortunate situations. Sometimes the cards, sometimes you got to take the wins with the losses.
Oh, man. You got to roll with the punches, too,
right.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to keep it moving.
The same way I'm out here, on the come up, the next man on the come up. And when I get got, that also, I also learn from that, because it's like, okay,
It's a learning experience.
Yeah, so it's a learning experience. Getting scammed is a learning experience.
Right. It happens to everyone.
It happens to everyone. So, learn from it, because somebody was watching you. They was watching, anytime you get scammed, somebody's watching you. Somebody's, looking for some way that you're being lax, and then they exploit it.
Right.
For, usually for financial gain. I mean, it feels pretty sweet on the other side of it, though. Like, if I'm the person and I'm, attempting to pull a scam or a hoax.
Right.
And it goes through, I'm like,
Do you believe in karma though? I mean, as far as this, when you scam somebody, it's like, man, this is gonna come back and like hit me times 2. Like, you don't ever think about that?
Nah, I don't. And at the end of the day, I think that if that were to be the case, right, then there's people in the universe who are all about whatever it is that they're about, and then there are people like me who react to those situations in whatever way, and that. By another person's definition, that creates karma. Like me living my life and doing what I do, affects people, differently. I think so. But, as far as like, because there's so many people who like, kill people, sell drugs to children, and they live in a life of luxury, and, nothing's ever going to happen to them. There's plenty of people out there, hacking into the government. They
just did that just this week, man.
They live in file and they live in good. Donald Trump is the president. Yeah. So I mean, if karma ain't bothering him, then it ain't bothering me either.
That's a true statement.
Right. So, I don't worry about that at all.
I feel like eventually it will catch up to you. I just feel like the way the universe works, man, like I've done some dirt. And it ain't even like for a financial gain. It's just for making me feel better. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done some dirt to people.
True.
And like when something bad happens to me, I try to think about what's the last thing I did that, was, pretty much I did to somebody in a negative way. And I'm like, oh, so that was it. So I'm always putting like the onesies and twosies together. And I'm like, oh, so this is a learning experience. Never do that again. So that's why I try to do right by all. But at the same time, I definitely try to do like I try to move silently and swiftly to make sure that I'm not gonna get hurt at the end.
Right. Okay. Well, that's what I'm gonna say about that is that basically, damn, I lost my point. So whatever.
Man. All right.
Cool. Moving on. So yeah, you would like we can maybe talk about cuffing season. Like, no, cuffing season has to be thoroughly explained. Not a
lot of people understand.
I don't think that a good friend of mine in Charlotte.
Okay.
He has a podcast. I think I told you about it. My coach.
Yes, your mentor. Right. Yeah.
Right. So I was with him one time and with his co-host, and my coach is black. We're both black guys, and his co-host is a white guy.
Right.
So he said something about cuffing season. My coach did, and the other guy was like, what is that? Like, he was just like, what is that? So like, I had to like break it down to him, and it was like, my coach is just signing off on everything. Like, yep, it's like this, it's like that. So I mean, I think that there's plenty of people who don't understand, how it works, what it is. It might be a good idea, to break it down for them. Okay. So our interpretation of cuffing season, which this is just well, at any rate, what was I gonna say? Damn,
man, we lost train of thought again.
No. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, so let's start with when cuffing season starts.
Okay, when it starts to get a little nip outside, man. Like, so right now,
right,
is actually when, because you're not gonna see any. You might see like 1 or 2 days that is gonna be above like 80,
right?
But like when it starts to like consistently hit the 70s and be 60s at nighttime, like that's when it's like, all right, time to start recruiting. It's time to start, do your little scouting or whatever.
Right. Once you have to think about, okay, I'm gonna wear a t-shirt or a hoodie.
Yeah.
Preseason is here.
Preseason is definitely here.
Preseason, you should have already
mini camps and all that.
Right, yeah, you should have already been scouting in the DMs. You should have showed out for Labor Day. First of all, you should have had, if you wanted to make a splash during cuffing season, you got to show out for Labor Day. Even if you take the whole summer off,
right,
you got to participate in Labor Day because that's like the kickoff, to the end of the summer is here. You know, this is a celebration. Like, hey, everybody, you know, we're about to get cuffed up.
Exactly.
So, you know, it definitely starts, you know, I would say like, you know, mid to late August. That's when you should start scoping.
Yeah.
It's still hot outside. Things are still going on.
Right.
But, you know, that's when, you know, you're making Labor Day plans. Boom, boom, bow.
Right.
So once you're in preseason, you know, you're courting, being courted. You know, things are happening. You know, jokes are funny.
Yeah, you know, you're filling people out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know, drinks are being poured.
Drinks are definitely flowing.
Right, and you know, it's good times by all. Good times had by all.
Right.
Halloween, you got to make some definite choices. You got to have, you know, you got to be ready to make a move. You know, you got to have your choices narrowed down by Halloween.
Right.
Because you know it's gonna be busy.
Man,
they're gonna want to do things on Halloween. And, you know, it's just one of you.
Right.
It's just it's just one of you.
Right, boy.
So you gotta make a decision, like, you know, who I'm taking, you know, and now that sets a precedent because now we're doing holiday related things together.
Right. You going, you know, you picking out pumpkins and stuff. You don't necessarily have to, you know, meet the family at Thanksgiving or Christmas. You don't have to do all that, but at least get that to go play. Yeah, at least get some food in the process. But
yeah, once we're passing through Thanksgiving and Christmas, you know, it's getting colder outside.
Right.
So now, you know, we're doing Netflix and chill. We spend a lot of time in the house.
Yep.
With big spoon, little spoon. Right. You know, a lot of that is going on.
Exactly.
You know, there's more, you know, consensual fun enjoyed by all.
Pretty much.
You know, so Thanksgiving comes and goes. Christmas comes and goes.
Yeah. Then comes around the New Year.
New Year's a celebration. You know, you're basically going to, you know, reflect on how things went.
How you want things to go in the future.
How you want things to go in the future. And then, you know, depending on how well the season progressed, you know, it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, man.
So
we breaking it down.
You can decide. You can either decide, like, by Valentine's Day, if you don't want this to progress any further, then you have to end it.
You gotta break it off before February.
You have to break it off before February.
If you let it go in February, like, you're gonna hurt somebody, man. You're gonna really hurt them, man. They're gonna be hurt.
You gotta be in it.
Because they're gonna be rubbing their hands like once February 1st come around, you know, they rubbing their hands. It's like, yo.
Right. Because that's like, that's like, basically the last like holiday that's like, very couples related, for a while.
Yeah. And that's when it starts warming up.
Starts warming up. Y'all not spending as much time laid up in the bed.
Nah.
Y'all doing this and doing that. You didn't spend a lot of money.
Exactly.
You didn't, you've been binge drinking.
Yeah.
You didn't put on
doing all that, man.
Yeah, you've been doing all that. So now it's getting a little warmer. And it's time to go your separate ways.
Yeah, man.
Most adults understand that. I don't think that, there's anything wrong with, hooking up, dating.
No.
If you're single and that's what you're into, then,
Yeah. It's the people who, it's for the people who are just, exclusively dating. Like if you just want to just date, right. I feel like cuffing season is perfect. But if you want to actually date and then make something of it, you definitely have to state that at the beginning, man, because because people out here, people ain't really loyal like they used to be. Right. So you definitely have to state what it is you want out of this whole cuffing season. If it's a cuffing season where it will lead to nowhere, I wouldn't say, oh, this ain't gonna lead to shit. But, you at least have to say,
I'm not looking for anything serious.
Not even looking.
I'm not looking for anything serious.
Not even looking.
And then the other person gets to say, okay, well, I'm not looking for anything either. We're just having fun. And then when it's not fun anymore, we'll be done. And
there you go.
That's A-okay. But, because if you want to see if you want something serious, you can't, even be thinking like, oh, this is cuffing season. Like,
right.
Because you about to go to the playoffs. Like,
trying to win that shit.
Yeah, fuck cuffing season. Like, you looking for a change. You looking for a ring.
Right.
That's what it's about. You trying to go to the championship. Yeah. So you're not worried about, these little 3, 4, 5 months or whatever. But I definitely wanted to break it down because I'm sure that some people listening don't fully understand or take advantage.
Yeah.
Or take advantage, like, be seen.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people could do well if they, you know, got off the computer, put the phone down, you know, like, and that's a good time to do things, you know, this holiday parties, office parties, ugly sweater parties. It's festive. People are, you know, partying a lot.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of things that are indoors, you know. So, I mean, you're not going to be doing meet and greets outside when, you know, when it's like 20 degrees, 30 degrees outside. Like, no one wants to be outside for more than 15 minutes, if that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why cuffing season exists. I can get in my car, go to someone's house who I know likes me or who is interested in me just as much as they are, you know, just as much as I am in interested in them. And, you know, just do our thing. You know what I'm saying?
And do our thing. We you know, enjoy each other's time.
Exactly.
So I know typically they say, like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But, like, you know, what can you say? Was it really that? Was this your first time going?
Yeah, this was my first time going.
Was it really that intense?
I wouldn't say it was intense. I feel like the more money you spend, the better it is.
Well, of course.
Because, I mean, like, when I thought about it, like, my dream of Vegas was pretty much like this. Like, I was thinking, man, we're going to be, like, snorting cocaine off of, like, strippers and all that. Like, nah. I set the bar a little too high, and I started to humble myself after the first day. I was like, wait a second.
Well, you got to think about who you went with, too. That's not his MO.
That ain't his MO. But at the same time, though, I don't think that would have even been on the itinerary, like, just with the money that we were spending, because I think I spent probably about $300 out there.
Damn.
For an event like that. To have that crazy or that good of a time like you see on the movies and everything like that, you're going to have to spend some guap.
At least a stack. You got to go to Vegas prepared to spend $1,000.
Yeah, you got to, in order to have that type of fun, like endless fun, like you're going to have to spend a lot of money. But I actually did have fun, man. We went to a lot of parties, man. It first started off at a bar. It was just a bar scene, you know, we had like our trunks on and everything, like T-shirts and tank tops. And then we went to this pool party at, I think it's the Aura or something like that, Drea or something like that, some hotel casino. Every hotel had a casino in it. It was crazy. But we went to that pool party. That pool party was actually not too bad. They actually had like 2 pools. But then we went to the Mandalay Bay, which is that gold. It's like a gold and white hotel at the end of the strip. And man, that was the party. That was pretty much the pool party, man. I'll tell you, when the women and what they were wearing, man, that was like a music video, like Uncle Luke, like Too Short type.
What time of day was this?
This was like that party started like around 2:00, so the sun was still up, man.
Nigga, the sun is still up.
The sun was still up, and like we left probably like 4 hours later, bro. I was brown in a mug, like Dane was still like light skinned. He was still light skinned, but I mean, he probably got the most lucky out of me. I mean, just because, you know, the women who were there, he had some women dancing on him. But yeah, I mean, it was.
He think he doing something. He grew that beard in. He think he doing something.
He got that beard, man. So, you know, he had fun. I had fun, man. We was all wilding out there, man. I mean, that pool party was really the highlight of the night. And then we went to there was also like a bar crawl at night, or I guess a club crawl, you would call it. And it started off over at the Hooters Casino and Hotel. And that one was like, it was just off. It was just off. I didn't really like it. But then once we progressed and went to the MGM casino, they had a club there, and that one was actually pretty dope. It started off a little shaky because, you know, the bartender, he had an attitude, like he was like ID, then he like flashed the light on me. I was like, bruh, like I'm getting it, like chill out. Like he was being a dick. But he apparently he said that my car was declining. I was like, nah, bro, I got plenty of dollar bills on this car, bro. Like, swipe it again. And then, you know, Dane did his and swiped it, and it was saying it was declining. And I was like, I think it's your reader. So then he took it over to the side, and then he swiped it, and then he like just tossed the card back. And it was like, dude, you got an attitude?
Right.
Like he was just being a dick. I don't know why. I guess he wasn't having a good day. But, you know, as a bartender, you're supposed to let other people feel, special. Or, you're supposed to let them feel good. But other than that, though, that party actually was jumping, man. We saw the Stratosphere. We went up top on the Stratosphere. I took a picture on Instagram if you guys follow me. That was where we actually ate dinner. It was pretty nice, man. You could see the whole strip just from the Stratosphere. Dane wanted to get on that ride that pretty much went over the top or went off the edge of the Stratosphere. I wasn't messing with it because, I don't like rides like that.
Right.
But I mean, other than that, man, it was really dope, man. I enjoyed it.
That's what's up, man. I've never been to Vegas. I'll check it out. What I can say is that the casino is the only place I've ever been to that's like on TV.
Right.
There's no other place. I mean, maybe the grocery store.
Yeah.
But, when I go to the club, it's always some old bullshit. So,
yeah.
I don't have this experience that, people have on TV.
Yeah, you're not going to have experience. You know what? I started to compare it against, compare it to, Myrtle Beach. But it was like Myrtle Beach, like Tom saying, like, as far as going to the club and seeing who's all out there. Because there weren't many black people there at Vegas. There were, like, a lot of white people. So, being a black man in a club, I mean, unless you like some pro athlete or whatever, you're not really going to get much play from, the white single women who are there, or, who are in groups and everything. So that was kind of like, I ain't really feeling the club. But I mean, it was popping though. I mean, I met this one chick from Canada. She was like, yeah, we're about to go to the restroom. We'll be back. And I just put up 2 fingers. I was like, I ain't gonna see your ass. Like you finna dip. Like, yeah. But I mean, other than that, the club scene could have been better. I had high expectations of, Vegas being this crazy city. Yeah. But nah, it can get crazy, but it depends on who you with and how much money you spend. Truth be told, don't be discouraged by my, synopsis going to Vegas. Vegas was fun. Like, I want to go back, but it's expensive as hell. But yeah, that's pretty much it though.
True indeed, man. I'm trying to think what I was doing during that time. Oh yeah, I went down to Charlotte and I just helped my mom move. It helped Mom Dukes move.
What was that event that you were at, man?
Man, Coast to Coast Live.
Coast to Coast Live.
Yeah, where they feature, artists basically from all over the world. It's one of those things, as far as my understanding, it's like something where I'm pretty sure you have to pay to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you can, as long as you can get to where the show is, you can perform.
Right.
So, some shows I'm sure are pretty lit and some are pretty not.
Right.
So it all just depends. And they go to different countries. They're in Canada, US, the UK, parts of India, but different countries. So anyway, but it was like a big old open mic, like how it would be at like Faces or any other hole in the wall that you've been to and seeing some niggas performing some old baboon music and shit.
Baboon music, like the African, like with the drums and stuff. You said baboon music.
Nah, like jumping up and down and grabbing themselves and screaming into the mic. But it was whatever. It was cool or whatever. But
true.
But yeah, man. So what's up with we got to do like the fantasy? I guess it's time to do.
So fantasy, man. Actually, it starts. The actual leagues start today. So man, I had like 4 teams, dog. Like 2 of them are paid, 2 of them are for free, and I'm feeling pretty good, man. I know with Waste Management, that's what they call it. The one that Nate is the commissioner of. That one was like a $50 pay-in. So I mean, I'm excited about it, man. We had the draft on I think it was as soon as I got back, bro. It was like on Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah. But man, I'm excited about it. I got my teams. I'm ready for tonight. The game is I think it's the Bills and the Patriots tonight, I think. Or somebody.
I didn't know anybody.
I know the Patriots playing tonight, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody that was playing. We got set up a one of them like little weekly leagues.
Oh yeah.
We so that we could get some of our listeners' money.
Yeah. Yeah, so I I think we got to do that through. Do we have to do that through DraftKings? I think they do the weekly.
I think it's the easiest one to do it.
Because it'll be too hard trying to do it through like ESPN where it's for free.
Yeah,
We need to just go to an outlet where it's already.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we'll set that up. We'll have more info about that next week.
Yeah, man.
Other than that, I'm out of steam.
I mean, since we were on the topic of, I don't know if you really want to talk about it, but because I know you guys we've been talking about racism for like the last 3 episodes, and it's like, again, do we have to bring up this topic? You know who Michael Bennett is? He's a Seahawks tight end.
No, I don't know who Michael.
Do you know what happened to him though? Have you heard it in the news when he was at Vegas during the McGregor fight?
No.
So pretty much he was he's filing a lawsuit right now, claiming that he was a victim of racial profiling and excessive force when he was stopped in Las Vegas by Las Vegas police as he left the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight. So he stated that, from his accusation, he stated that it was a traumatic experience, and he drew support from not only his coach but also the commissioner of the NFL. He stated that the Las Vegas police singled him out, after their people, like hundreds of people heard like shots rang out. So, Las Vegas police officers, he stated that they singled him out and pointed their guns at him, for doing nothing more than simply just being a black man in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Damn.
So pretty much he said, a police officer ordered me to get on the ground. As I laid on the ground, complying with his commands not to move, he placed a gun near my head and warned me that if I move, he would blow my explicit, I guess probably said fucking head off. A second officer came over and forcefully jammed his knee into my back, making it difficult for me to breathe. Then they clenched, put the handcuffs on my wrists so tight that my fingers went numb. So Michael Bennett is a big guy, but just from the letter that he wrote, to everyone to see, and just from what he said in this report, it's sad, and I mean it holds truth to what Kaepernick's been kneeling about, and he still doesn't have a job. And I hate the commissioner, Roger Goodell, who got on on live and was talking about, oh well, I don't know why Kaepernick doesn't have a job. I'm not an NFL owner. I'm not an NFL specialist. Like, dog, you know exactly why this.
Exactly.
You know exactly why he's out, man. Come on. Yeah, stuff like that, man.
Dang, I didn't hear about that at all. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, that's been going on for a while, for about a good week. That's been in the news. So, and it kind of shocked me because I was like, man, I don't want to be out here in Vegas, and get hit up, by police just because something happened. Because again, like I said, like when I went to Denver and landed in Denver, and like hung out with my cousin, I saw nothing but white people. I didn't see a black person there.
Dang.
I didn't see a black person there. When I went to Vegas, I mean, I saw black people, but, it wasn't as whitewashed. But, I mean, it's just, sometimes in the environment, people are scared, you know what I'm saying? I saw a guy get on Facebook Live and talking about some ways got me driving through the ghetto. And I looked at, the live feed on Facebook and everything, and he was just driving through just, I mean, it didn't look rough, but I mean, there were people walking their dogs and stuff. It was just black people just in the neighborhood, and he was calling it the ghetto, and I'm like, and I was like, what ghetto?
Right.
I mean, just because you riding in the neighborhood where black people are, where it's underdeveloped, like look at a lot of the black neighborhoods that we have in these inner cities. I mean, of course, that's what you're gonna think of it. You're gonna think it's the ghetto just because it's run down, but believe me, we didn't. Believe me, if we wanted to live in a place nice, we would. But gentrification.
Right. So, we gotta live where we can afford and can be comfortable.
What do you think? And like a lot of people make the argument, well, you're not living that way. It's like, yeah, I'm not, because we made decisions in my life that affected the way I live, and I wasn't raised like that. But there are some people who were brought up in that type of system where all odds were against them. Right. And the odds have continued to be against them since day one. It's perpetual. So, I was, fortunately, I was, one of those people who didn't have to experience that, but I still know that I have friends who are experiencing that, where all the odds are against them, and not a lot of people can relate to that.
Right.
So that's why they don't understand when they hear me talk about it. They were like, "Well, you're doing fine." I know I'm doing fine, but I want to help out my other brothers and sisters who aren't doing fine. You know what I'm saying? For you to classify them as being ghetto just because they're in a less fortunate situation than you are, that's preposterous, man.
Man, niggas. Yeah, people love. I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's why I was like, I don't know if you want to talk about this because we've been talking about racism and all this, and like how the odds are against us. But that's the reality that we live in America, y'all. Like, for real. I mean, that's what we do, and we still come to work, put a smile on our face, and everything.
Come to work with a smile and everything.
I mean, hey. It's bigger than what you guys think it actually is, But yeah, that's all I really had to say about that. But yeah, man. But are we going to that event, Beats and Bars Festival?
Yeah,
September 22nd, I think, and 23rd.
Yeah, I think it is the 22nd, 23rd.
Okay, we got to go to that. Like I think Sci-Hi the Prince is gonna be there.
Yeah, Sci-Hi's gonna be there.
What you call it? Is it? Damn, I forget his name. It's not Nick Grant.
Nick Jonas?
No. I forget his name. But
Nick Cannon?
Nah, not Nick Cannon. But nah, either way, it's gonna be a lot of local artists. Even the Asian dude, I forget his name too.
G Yamazawa.
Yeah. He's gonna be there. Yeah. I like him, man. He's dope.
That's a dope song.
Yeah.
I fucks with it.
Yeah.
I fucks with it. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be in the building. I'm trying to get the Verdict in there some kind of way, doing something.
Yeah, man.
Put our name on something.
Something. I actually got a contact, I think, who might be able to help us out with that. So I'll see what she's talking about, man.
Okay, yeah, see what she's talking about with that.
Yeah.
Because it falls in the timeline of these events I was trying to have, which I'm still trying to do. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do it. And it's been a lot going on at the Brib, man. Just a lot going on.
Yeah, man.
But all good things, a lot of good things.
True.
Everything's good on that front. But all right, so then well shit, damn. Well, if you like this episode of Verdict, please like, rate, review, subscribe, share, comment.
All that
on Google Play, iHeartRadio,
SoundCloud. Tune in. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Verdict Podcast. We gotta do better about updating the Verdict Podcast, like just in general. I want somebody else to do it though. Yeah.
Like I just don't got the time.
What happened with old girl? When you look up in the sky and it's like you're looking for all these excuses, like which one am I going to choose?
Right. I mean, basically, I think that the way she described it is that, for the money that I would have been paying, she didn't think that it would have been a good return on my investment. For what I wanted.
She was honest about it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm guessing she was either asking for more money, which I didn't want to do, or she was just saying that, the scope of the things you're asking for is, is outside of the budget. That's basically what she said. The scope of the things you want is outside of my entry level budget. Okay. So she was like, but, there are other ways that, I can help. We can, plan this out, this, that, and the third out. So she's still gonna, probably, do maybe some advising or maybe just some consulting. To try to help, but
what about as far as being the host and all that?
Well, I hadn't spoke to her about it yet. Just because I don't know. I
seeing that she like lives in Durham and all that good stuff, so she would have to travel.
Yeah, but it's like 20, 30 minutes, and she
throw you like.
I wouldn't throw her anything.
You wouldn't throw no gas money?
She's over here all the time. Like I follow her on Instagram. She's in Raleigh all the time.
Well. Ain't no thing then.
Right. So, well, I just want to see what's out there,
True.
I just want to see what's out there. Like, I think I might go on the college tour. Actually, That's what we should do. We should go on a college tour to find our co-hosts.
Right. Okay.
That's what we can do.
So we had to do it around here.
Yeah.
Pretty much around. So Shaw's like literally down the street from me.
Yeah, Shaw. We could go up there to Shaw.
Go to NC State. We can go to Duke. We can go. We go to Carolina. We can go anywhere.
Right. We could go on a college tour to find. There's some comm major. Yeah. Who would thrive in this opportunity.
Right.
So. I think that's what we should do. We should, we'll go on a college tour. We'll look for our co-hosts. That's a great idea. So, we'll put that together. And one day a month, or we'll find that person.
Right.
And then in the meantime, in between time, I'll link you, me, you, and Jennifer. We'll link together at some point, and see how that combo works.
Right.
See how that combo works.
Yeah.
But I do think that we will benefit from and they call it the doe, the deer, and the dick.
Okay.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call it.
That's a crazy analogy, but I'm tracking on.
Right. Yeah. So that's what that threesome of opinions. That's what that's basically what they call that. So
it's gonna be the dick.
I think that's what we need. My brother told me that he said my brother and a few of my close friends, they say I'm too nice. I don't like.
They say you too nice. And I ain't mean. I'm in no shape or form mean.
Well, no, that's what they're saying. Like all things considered, they're expecting me to be the
the mean one, the asshole.
Right. The Charlemagne basically.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that would be you.
Well, it's hard for me to, because if I were going to be honest, I would really need to be like the DJ Envy in the situation.
Okay.
I would really need to be the DJ Envy in the situation. So we need our asshole.
We do need.
Yeah, we don't have an asshole.
I'm not the asshole.
Yeah, so we need that person. We need and it's gonna be better coming from a female.
Yo,
she could be an asshole and say
funny.
things that are funny.
That would be funny.
Right. So, but we'll see. Not just anybody. So somebody who fits the dynamic and who's gonna rock with the vision. But
facts.
So when you hear this episode and you feel like that may be you and you're living within reason. To hit us up at those aforementioned sites. I finished the website. I'm not going to give the link just yet because I'm not 100% satisfied with it, but I'm about like 97% satisfied.
You sound exactly like me with this music, man. Like these two songs. Like this is just going to be one to be released tomorrow now.
Okay, yeah. You told me that you had, so you got new. We can't even get out of here without talking about that. You got new music coming out.
Yeah. So, again, you guys can follow me at I am Wes Taylor on Instagram, on SoundCloud, on Twitter, all that good stuff. I'm about to release one song now. I'm gonna release the second one eventually, but I want to work on it, man. I was coming up with some ideas while I was at work today.
Well,
so
let me ask you this:
what's up?
Would you consider, like, what you do, like, if you wanted to perform your music, you would, like, go in there with, like, your,
like, pretty much my laptop and, like, my MPK?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so.
I mean, if, say, like, I think I showed you that video, but, there's like this producer / DJ who has, like, this MPC, there's a beat machine that's, like, 16 pads or whatever, and he's like mixing like all types of stuff. Like he already has like samples already loaded onto these pads, but he has like Harry Potter on there and all that stuff.
Right.
And he's like has hi-hats, he has kicks and all that, bass and all that, and then samples of the song itself.
Okay.
But yeah, something I could do that, but I would just have to practice. But yeah, I would actually buy like an MPC to do that. Right now I have an MPK which only has 8 pads, but it also has like a keyboard on there as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, so do you got the name of the song?
I really don't have a name. I only have a date for it because I only put like a date for it. But yeah, it's it's actually one of the first times that I've actually taken a just not only just my own piano skills, but also I've taken some samples that I found out there on the internet and put them on here. So taking some samples and I just put them together. And this is the first time I've actually used samples this with producing the song. So this is something that, again, like I said in the past, like my music's only gonna get better. Like it gets better and better every time I make something new. So it's not very trappy. I wouldn't consider it trappy, but it has a bit of, just with the hi-hat type deal. It does sound somewhat like a a trap song or a hip hop song. But yeah, I'm gonna make a trap song, kind of like how Maha was on the first EP. But yeah, just stay tuned. Tomorrow you'll hear it. You'll see me promoting it and everything. So just stay tuned, y'all.
All right, for sure. And I'll link to that one on our sites or whatever, so the listeners can check that out.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm good to go.
All right, man.
All right then.